Hello and welcome to the Freemasons podcast with your hosts, Right Worshipful Brother George Mudry.
Worshipful Brother Joe.
And Worshipful Brother Ken.
We are up here today. We're doing episode 183?
183. 183.
And the episode is going to be titled, what'd you write it? I don't even know what the hell you wrote anymore.
Okay, so this is actually
You're
going
doing all
to
the
be,
tech now, so I'm just
I'm working on it. Freemasons Autocomplete.
Freemasons Autocomplete. What we're basically going to do is we're going to go into Google, and we're going to, I guess for lack of better words, we're just going to put in something into Google that says Freemasons are or Freemasonry is
or whatever.
And we're going to answer Google's questions.
Yes.
Or defend ourselves against whatever it says we are.
Yes, because Google needs our help.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Or half of it's all freaking crap anyways.
Yeah, so we're going to correct it. We're going to autocorrect the autocomplete.
Yes.
Suck on that, Google.
Yeah, suck it. Got 2 words for you.
That's right.
Why can't I find our damn channel now? Anyway, while we're doing
While
that,
I'm doing, you want me to read the likes while you're doing that?
yeah, you gotta bring your mic a little closer,
bit
Joe.
closer.
You sound
Okay, how about now?
Good.
Yeah, that's good.
sounds good to me.
All right. So, I'm going to go where it's been a while since we've done these, so I'm going to start with a name that I absolutely recognize, and it was Zypocanthropus soloensis.
You just like saying that.
Zypocanthropus soloensis. Sorry if I didn't pronounce that right.
Sounds Greek.
Jacob Washburn, Trey Murat, Jose Amaro, Richard Sanders, Lamond Chestnut, Mike Salas, Kane Surley, Joseph Madalena, Mark C. Poulin Jr., Alex Ostler.
Mark Poulin, why do I know that name?
I know. It sounds
I
familiar.
know Chris Poulin.
Yeah.
Zach
Matt Poulin.
Steck, Devin Wyatt, David Overman, Valerie Sandlin Overman, the International Silver String Submarine Band, Adam Jones, Richard Gordon III, Kaylin Swanson, Hassan Halawi, Dr. Remulak, Alan Smith Jr., David Nieves Roman,
That's freaking great.
MJ Baker, Vince Fontaine, and John Doyle. New likes.
Yeah, over on Instagram, I guess Devin Wyatt decided to like us on both platforms, so thank you for that, my friend. Lunatic Coleman, Jamie Joachim, Jacek Stanislawski, Ryan Reed. This is in a different character set too. Gikuyu Murungu. Thank you. Joe Lengyel, Don Kenchizi.
Cornelius?
Nope, Kenchizi. Oakdale Masonic Lodge number 669. Thank you, brothers.
Hey!
And
Awesome.
Bright Light. So thank you guys.
I'm not gonna lie, I get a certain pleasure listening to you guys try to pronounce names now. After I got I got ridiculed so freaking bad when I used to do it, so it's kind of nice.
There's no way you have been able to get Zolancanthropus solensis. You would not have. Reminds me of Dr. Theopolis from Buck Rogers.
Yeah, no, wouldn't
Dr. Remulak.
I am Dr. Did you get the Dr. Remulak reference?
Right. We're not linguists. Sorry, guys.
I am Dr. Remulak.
Oh, cool. God, I'm gonna try this name though. Neiman Jar. Hello, brothers. Greetings from Master Mason in Serbia. That's
Cool.
Awesome. Hey, see all these flags we got up here?
I think we're big in Serbia.
I'm just saying, you send us a flag, we'll hang it.
Wasn't there a
I
week
love
where we
it.
had like 10 Serbian followers come on?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
there was like a rash of Eastern European.
Yeah.
We're big there.
That's why what we
Lakers there
do
for
is
a while.
that's how all these flags came from listeners from
Yeah.
other countries. If you send us a flag, we'll hang it.
And we're going to reorient them, so
Yep.
there'll be plenty of room up there. So,
Yeah, because we got all the new stage, we got the new freaking counter. This is
yeah.
awesome.
I feel good. I feel like I'm handing down edicts from on high. Right? It's
I like it.
yeah. And thanks for the stools, Joe. The stools are great.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
If you need me to push it in, let me know.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, thank you. Such a gentleman.
What?
Stupid.
What?
Nothing.
I don't
picking
know.
up what you're putting
I don't
down.
know what you're talking about.
Over on Twitter, I actually added back Twitter to my phone. It's not my own profile. It's the Freemasons podcast profile. And I've been on a tear on Twitter because...
God, I'm going to get kicked off that platform.
I'm not going to get kicked off it. All I'm doing is just putting up images of the comments from people who are saying that we're evil and devil worshippers and everything, and I put it up there on Twitter, and I don't know. I think it's personally pretty funny. Like, I'm a major troll for these people. I find them absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, you are.
But
Is he big enough to be a troll?
He's right.
I look like a troll. Look at my
troll,
hair.
man.
I am a troll doll. The only thing I do is I slick it to the side.
I thought trolls were big.
No, trolls are
The one under the bridge.
They were like
Billy Goat's
strong.
Gruff?
Yeah.
What?
They have like special powers
Where
or
the
something.
wild things are, like
Yeah.
What is your quest?
He's like the
Bigger
little.
than the little child.
He's thinking, well, that's him.
Yeah,
We got to get him a little gray outfit with a little crown.
Oh yeah, that'd be awesome. Oh my God, we could probably find a child size that fits him too. We'll
Whenever
just
you
go to the
guys are
Halloween
done.
store. We're good.
Yeah. So again, you can have us look over at Twitter at us and this particular little argument that we're having on YouTube. Because again, I love doing this stuff. And one of the things I love doing is I imagine myself doing it is when people are like, "You guys are evil and bad." I'm like, oh, I do like the whole Willy Wonka where he puts his hands on his face. I'm like, oh, do tell.
Yeah, exactly. Cite your evidence, please.
So I'm not going to make anybody famous here, but I talked about Karen. I also have somebody else on here that says...
Is that the one that you were going to call a Karen, but then her name was actually
Actually, it was like,
Karen.
oh well, never mind.
no, this one's a,
already done? Got
Aptly
already. Your
named.
parents already took care of that.
This one's a Stephanie with a PH, and she goes on to say, basically, fear the Lord and please, please, you lazy, illiterate freaks,
Ooh. Well, I mean that's accurate.
just repent and open the darn freaking Bible.
Don't
We do.
We do it all the time.
Every meeting. And then she goes to say, easy to read Bibles are now available online. She's basically saying I can't talk. Or,
Yeah, and if it were that easy, they'd call it her mom. Yeah, we're gonna go there today. We're gonna go there today.
I guess we're not taking the high road anymore.
Oh,
So at one point she said to us to basically keep drinking, which so
Okay.
clearly she's seen one of the episodes where
you know,
we're doing.
I think we should listen to her.
She's got a good
She might
head on
have
her
a point,
shoulders,
you know?
So I said I'll keep drinking as long as you keep taking your antipsychotics. Have a lovely day. I was polite about it when I ended it.
Oh yeah, that was.
All right, whatever.
They drink in mass every Sunday morning.
Right.
That's true.
And then another person, Christ of Nazareth, the Messiah.
Yeah, he doesn't have much of an ego, huh?
Yeah, that's not a complex at all.
He basically told me to repent, and I said, okay. And he says, only human beings can preach repentance, and only humans can repent. Satan and the fallen angels cannot. You should only be offended if you're not a human being.
Yeah, we're mole people.
Yeah. I guess we're not human.
He's basically saying that we're either
we're
Satan
inhuman.
or the fallen angels. So my only reply was, so does this mean I can fly? I think it'd be really, really cool to fly.
Fallen angel.
Should have replied back. Well, we do have a ginger. Does that count?
Kind of sounds like he was coming on to you, calling you a fallen angel. Did it hurt? Did it hurt when you fell from heaven?
I know, right?
Did it hurt when you fell from grace? Yeah.
Oh, the whole the woman pickup
Yeah,
line.
the pickup line,
the
yeah.
pickup line.
See, I went right to the
Maybe
poison
he
song.
was.
I know. I had to take the other tack.
Anyway, so yeah, check us over at Twitter, because I'm doing some funny shit over there.
Because George is responding.
I have to.
yeah.
I can't. You
don't-
set yourself.
I
I,
know,
don't have to. But I'm sorry when you say some stupid shit and then you're like, I know what you guys do. I was a rainbow girl. Oh yeah, please do tell. You guys sit under the sun
Have her call in.
and
Have her call in.
should. No, it would just be no.
Yeah, some people
No,
are just
it would
not
be-
going to be.
no.
But we could hang up on her at any time. I told you
I
that a long
wouldn't,
time
though.
ago. The
I
show
would-
needs a burner phone.
Here's
the
what I
show
do.
needs a burner.
Here's
show
what I
does need a
do.
burner phone.
I bait you into saying some stupid shit that you either A, can't prove, or you show that you're a psycho.
Or
And
we
you're out
just
of your
let her
mind
talk.
and you
Right, we can just
really
sit back and let her
This is
talk.
what I do. Like, I enjoy it. I let you dig your own hole and then I hand you the shovel.
We could talk about it. I mean, it may or may not be. We'll go over the pros and cons and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll bring it up.
Our brother from Serbia says it's sad that some people will never learn what Freemasonry is, so be troll and enjoy it. Oh, I do.
Yeah.
Every
some
waking
people
second.
some people are just so insular that no matter what you do, whatever evidence you can present to the
Yeah, it won't
contrary,
be good enough.
factual or not, yeah, it's not good enough. They're not going to change their opinion. So
All right, so let's start it up. First we got to toast.
Start me.
that's right. Yeah.
Joey, you missed the last one. You're
All right.
responsible for toasting.
Brothers, right hand to arms.
To arms.
Ready.
Ready.
Aim.
Aim.
Fire good fire, fire all. Together, brothers.
Vivat, vivat, vivat. Question for you. Did you just shoot that apple pie moonshine?
Yeah.
No.
That's what you're supposed to do during a toast,
Holy
right?
shit. No, but his was like full to the brim. Like,
No, you had like half a.
I've been sipping on it.
oh, okay. I thought you literally fired the whole
need some
thing.
more,
I'm
though.
like,
Can't
oh,
It is really good,
Shit.
but very sweet. Very sweet.
All right, let's get serious. All right, so we're going to do this episode, and this episode is going to be Google, so I'm going to pop this in Google. And the first thing I'm going to Google is, are Freemasons, yes, well, there's a bunch of them. Are Freemasons still active?
Yes. Done.
Yes, I'm going to go with yes as well.
Man, we're here.
Here we are. Yeah. We're Masons. and
That's a
we're-
simple one.
We are not clandy.
We are awake.
Are Freemasons and Masons the same thing? This one can get a little bit in depth. So, Kenny, you want to take it?
I'll try. So, Masons is just a short form of the word Freemason.
Correct.
If we're talking about Masons in the Freemasonry context, I'm not going to say that like they're stone layers, brick layers, whatever. We'll leave that aside. So Masons is just a short form of the word Freemason. I don't see that there's any difference from my perspective.
I mean, the only
You've got the difference between free and accepted Masons versus ancient free and accepted Masons and so forth, but those two words don't mean one versus the other. I just see it as a short form.
just so everybody knows, we are not the same Masons as in like Frank Rizzo Masonry driving down the road.
Frank Rizzo. Oh, right, yes.
Like,
yeah,
we're
we don't
not-
do
like,
stonework.
We're not
doing
laying
stonework.
concrete or stonework. Although I have done stonework, so.
Yeah, I see those two as
Involuntarily, though, you didn't have a choice to do it. I mean, right? Wasn't that your sidewalk basically fell apart or something?
Oh, no, that was something totally different. I used to build stone walls.
Oh,
Really?
okay. So
I
you
didn't
were
Yeah, there's no joke in that. There's no
No,
punchline.
I
actually
learned
used to-
something new today.
so you were an
Interesting.
operative Mason.
I
at
was
one
at
point.
one time an operative Mason, yes.
No kidding.
What
Yeah,
do you
but
think? You think there's a difference, George, between those two terms,
which ones?
Mason and Freemason?
Again, it depends on what you're asking. Like if you're asking, again, Freemasonry the craft Freemasonry
Yes.
is a derivative of the ancient stone guilds, but we are not the same people who are driving down the road fixing your sidewalks and all that stuff.
Correct, yes.
So if they're asking the question, is Freemasons and Masons the same thing? Yes, Freemasons is short term, like we're Masons,
Right, same term, yep.
But if you're talking about it in the operative term, no, we are not those type of Masons. We're not rebuilding your sidewalk. We're not, we're not doing the stones on the side of your driveway and all
Patching
that stuff.
holes.
Patching holes. No, that's not
Filling
us.
holes.
Are Freemasons tax exempt? Oh, this one's going to draw some heat.
Depends on your jurisdiction and state regulations.
Correct.
Usually.
Yep.
You're our trustee. You want to take this one?
Sure. Well, under advisory of our tax accountant, I'm not going to answer. No. Most Masonic lodges, at least the ones that I'm aware of, are a not-for-profit corporation versus a non-profit corporation, and there's a big difference in the filing. So, short answer is no, we're not tax exempt because we don't fall under the auspices of a religious organization or something like that. However, there are certain lodges that have been able to work something out with their towns where they are able to gain tax exempt status. But as a whole, each individual lodge is not. We may be as a Grand Lodge,
Yeah.
but again, that may depend on certain state and federal IRS laws. There may be some requirements there.
Now, understand, we are a 501(c), which means we are tax exempt with certain things, but we get a tax bill up here where the town of Seymour wants to know what we have up here in our freaking lodge room.
Yeah. So when you say we, you're talking about Morningstar Lodge.
Morningstar Lodge,
As an
yes.
entity,
So-
So Harmony, I think, is a 501(c)(3) too, but that's
Right.
different than tax exempt, right, Joe? That just means
that's
not
the
for-
designation between a non-profit and
Yeah.
a not-for-profit. So
Right.
Ashlar Aspetuck is a not-for-profit, which is a 501c10.
Okay.
A 501c3, you are required to put a certain amount of the money that you take in back into the community,
Okay.
Right.
and that's the exchange for the tax exempt status.
And we do.
I see. Okay.
All this is above my head. I'm not a freaking numbers
Yeah.
guy, so
Let's not get too in depth.
yeah,
into
we got to
tax
fill
law.
out freaking 990 forms.
But
on
we don't
stuff,
have we
too,
don't
so-
have this. We don't get the same exemption that a church or a
Church does,
religious
no, not at
organization
all.
may get. So that was the point I wanted.
Sure.
Yep.
This next one will definitely fall on me. Of course it will. Are Freemasons Druids?
Yeah, I wouldn't know. You'd have to ask
I
George.
don't even know what the hell a Druid is. What is a Druid? Isn't that like the weird
It's an
eared?
ancient like pagan.
It's like the pointy-eared people that run around, right?
It was the guys who
Those are
built
the
the.
elves.
Elves.
They built Stonehenge.
They built Stonehenge. Yeah.
It's in essence a pagan religion.
I don't know what
I think they
Druids-
might have been responsible for Easter Island as well. But
So the answer is no. We are not
No.
Druids.
Do we draw any of our ritual from Druids or anything?
Don't. Not that I can think.
it would
of.
be really cool to do a degree at Stonehenge, though.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
I'm sure English lodges have. Hey, if there's an English lodge that's done a degree at Stonehenge or something like
Let us
that,
know.
leave it in the comments and let us know. By the way,
that'd be cool.
like and subscribe too. That'd be cool.
Smash that like button.
Are Freemasons religious? Well, we have our own resident Ginger that goes up north and does his little monk retreat.
Yeah,
if
I've
you
done
will.
some time at a monastery.
So, would you say you're a religious person?
Depends on your definition of religion.
I thought you were going to say depends on the day.
I am definitely a spiritual.
There are certain
person.
days where you're like, God damn it! Does that constitute as being
Well,
religious?
I speak his name every day. That I can assure you.
Yeah.
I can assure you of that. Definitely, I would describe myself as more of a spiritual person than religious because to me, religious is a organized definition of what exactly stuff means, and to me, you can't define it. But generally speaking, I would say yes because one of the very minimum and first requirement that you have to become a Mason is do you believe in a higher power, whether
Correct.
it be a Christian God, a Jewish God, a Muslim God. I don't believe the Church of the Flying Spaghetti Monster counts.
No.
But you do have to
Or-
believe in a supreme being, so by virtue of that, most Masons are somewhat religious and or spiritual, however you want to define it.
And I want to all those who may be trolls who are calling us devil worshippers and all that stuff, we do not allow the Church of Satanism
Correct.
into our ranks.
Yeah, that's where we draw the line.
We do not, because they stand in what's the opposite antithesis, right?
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
not the word I'm looking for.
Their
They're
values are inconsistent with
completely
Masonry.
inconsistent. There's even been people who are like quote unquote Wiccan that have been turned away.
Yeah.
You know?
That varies from jurisdiction to jurisdiction and
Yeah,
lodge
right.
to lodge. There was a brother who is of that religion, and one lodge that I know of turned him away and said, "We can't. We don't. I don't know what the actual reasoning behind it was." But then he went to another lodge in the
they
jurisdiction,
said, "Sure."
and he was accepted. So I mean,
Right.
we try our best to be as inclusive as possible, but yeah, if your value system is basically like, take what you want from humanity.
Yeah, do what thou wilt.
you're
Yeah,
just-
no, that shit don't
It's
fly.
not going to work.
Yeah, so I want to be clear about that. So that doesn't happen. It's not like we're just like, hey, anybody can call me any religion. Like, it depends on what the religion's tenets are, I guess
Right.
you can say. Like, if it's in contradiction to be a good and upstanding person and be a benefit to all mankind and not turning the cheek, if you will, as in most religions teach, don't take vengeance on your enemy. That's not for you to do, in a sense. Whereas, like the Church of Satan, that's basically what they say is, do unto others as others would do to you. No, that's a fucking no-go.
I think I would say the vast majority of the world's religions are accepted.
Yep.
One thing that just came to mind, though, and I don't know the answer to this, can you be a Scientologist and be a Mason?
Oh, God. After watching the Leah Remy thing, I'm going to
I
go with
just
a
don't know
big
the
fat
answer.
no.
Okay. I don't know enough about the tenets of Scientology.
I don't know much about it either.
Yeah.
I know a decent amount about Scientology. I just don't know if it's
Episode
acceptable or
opportunity.
necessarily
Yeah.
consistent or inconsistent with. I don't know that it's ever a decision has ever been made on it.
Okay.
I mean, realistically,
I've never heard of a
we should do an
story
episode
where
on
that-
that.
I mean, it's
that's
a
a whole
religion
story,
that's
yeah.
recognized by the federal government, and they have.
Well, it's because they got money.
Well,
Anything that the federal government recognizes, it's something that has money. Let's be
True.
clear.
Right.
But
If they don't have money, they don't want nothing to do with it.
the U.S. government categorized them as a religious organization, so I think it would be very difficult to preclude them. However,
Right. Well, I mean,
We'd
it
have
also
to- we'd have to
depends
learn
on their
more.
tenets. Like, if you're all about freaking beating women and all that stuff, then that's freaking no. That's a no go. We'll have to do more research and learn
Yeah.
about it, and then we'll come back with an episode on it. It's a
Yeah,
good
that's a
one,
good
though.
idea.
It's a good. That's a good thing you did there, Cam. Pretty
Once
proud.
in a while, I have an idea, George.
That was a good idea.
Once in a while.
Well, because it's kind of one of those things that if you want to call it a religion or whatever, it's kind of skipped over because it's kind of like a new religion. It's like a new mainstream,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Oracle.
But
Right.
there are a lot of people. There are a lot of people that ascribe to it, though. So I'm sure, at least in some jurisdictions, somebody's wanted to become a Mason from that religion, and it would be interesting to know more.
Won't hurt to entertain it. All right, next one. Are Freemasons Catholic? Ooh, I'll grab a hold of this one.
Yeah, go for it.
Freemasons can be any religion. Okay, you don't need to necessarily be Catholic. The Catholic Church forbids people from being Freemasons. Why? I don't know. Well, I have my suspicions, but Freemasons do not ban religious, certain like Roman Catholics and everything from being Freemasons. Like we just don't. It's
Right.
Your how do I put this? Your relationship with God is your own. That's not for us to tell you who you should and should not believe in. And I
just
think
want-
that runs contrary to the Catholic Church, which is why we have Catholic priests that may or may not, when we've been at funerals, have basically told the family that they couldn't do the Catholic funeral because we're not going to get into specifics,
Yeah.
but the priest actually stopped the funeral on a dime and said, we can't do this. We can't give him his last rites or bury him in the ground because he was a Freemason, and did this to the family while the Masons were present. And it was a real shitty thing to do. Masons would never do that.
Mm-hmm.
So
And our current deputy grand master is a Catholic priest, no?
he is Anglican.
Okay.
Yes, our current
Anglican?
Anglican, thank you. Yeah.
Which is
it's-
still a Christian based. It's just
Yeah,
not
yeah, oh, yeah.
Catholic. It's one of the Protestant
Protestant,
groups,
yeah,
right?
English Protestant.
Yeah.
It's very similar to Methodist,
But
which
still-
I am. Just
Yes.
so you know,
Me
I'm
too,
Methodist.
George. Don't get too excited.
I'm Methodist for
know.
anybody who wants to know. Karen.
But on the other piece of it, getting back at our Freemasons religious, there's a lodge that meets out of the New Haven Masonic Lodge building, Cosmopolitan Lodge, that's primarily Jewish brothers.
Correct.
I don't believe it's a requirement or a prerequisite, but traditionally it's a Jewish lodge.
Right.
So
And there are other lodges that are, I don't know if in Connecticut, but I know there are other lodges that are solely kind of either Muslim or they're. I don't think there's any. I mean, I would have to say that a good portion of Masons are primarily Christian.
Yeah.
Good portion,
at
but
least
not all.
at least in the States.
At least in the States, right? So there's not like only a Christians only lodge, But and I want to be clear, like the Jewish lodge you were talking about, Cosmopolitan, it doesn't mean that you can only join it if you are
Correct.
Jewish.
Correct.
It's
It
just a
doesn't
historical.
exclude.
It doesn't
just
exclude.
traditionally-
No different than a white male joining a PHA lodge here in Connecticut,
Right.
Or a black male joining a regular lodge. I mean, Didi, he's not PHA. He's just
Blue
regular.
Lodge.
Right.
Ty Bird, he's another one. they're- So there's not like it's not secular if that's what you're getting at. But all right, next one is are Freemasons a religion? Terrible grammar on Google here. Are Freemasons a religion? I mean, that should say is Freemasonry a religion, but whatever.
Yeah, that's good.
No, we are not a religion.
Nope.
Although much of our ritual is based, or how does it go in the fellow craft, Joe? Come on, drop the line.
It is so far interwoven with religion as to lay us under obligation to pay that rational homage to the deity,
Oh, killing it.
which at once constitutes our duty and happiness.
Very nice.
Well done.
You killed it, by the way, on the fellow crafter grade when you did that.
Thank you.
Yeah, you did a good
I had
job.
one little fumble because I got in my own head, but
So did I. And my part was much shorter than you. So no, we are not a religion. We're interwoven with religion to teach the lessons that need to be taught. So when people sit there and go, "You guys don't believe in Jesus," I send you to the Rose Croix or the Rose Croix degrees of Scottish Rite, 17th and 18th.
I prefer Qua.
Croix. It's like when you're in lodge and you got to fart and you just pull your butt cheeks apart and it goes Croix.
Jesus Christ. I thought that's what a woman did.
No, man, you went there. Jesus Christ, you can't cut it out. It's
Nope,
lost.
it's too late now. There's zero latency on this feed, brother.
We need a delay.
You feel all right today? You're
Feeling great.
okay.
Did that huge shot of moonshine, and now he's like falling
No,
apart
let's
over
not. Let's not.
He
Give
can
Karen
still
the-
deliver.
Let's not
ritual,
give
though.
Karen any more ammunition.
Yeah,
all right.
Fair enough.
Drunk. Are Freemasons Knights Templar? Ooh, this one's a
That's a
fun
good
one to
one.
unpack.
Yeah,
Kenny, you are also a Knights Templar.
I am. So it depends on what your definition of the term Knights Templar is. If we're talking about the Knights Templar of old that engaged in the why can't I think of the term? The Crusades, and defended the Catholic faith from.
He jumped too
enemies.
quick. If he'd have paused a little bit longer, I was going to add in fuckery. I just thought
Yeah, I know. Fuck. So if we're talking about those, there's been a lot of scholars, obviously, and we've covered this in other episodes, that try to draw that golden thread between the Knights Templar or some other ancient order in Freemasonry.
Right.
Some believe that there's credence there. Some say that's just coincidence. So that's a whole debate.
So there's
unto
no
itself.
actual hard evidence. They're
Correct.
speculative and coincidental.
Yep.
Scott Walter, which by the way, we got to have him on again.
Yeah. He's written some new stuff since we've talked to him last.
Yes, he has.
Oh yeah, so we definitely need to get him.
We
on.
need to get him back on again.
Raph.
What?
Raph.
Do your job.
If we're talking about the York Rite Knights Templar, then yes, you do have to be a Freemason in order to be a Knight Templar in the York Rite organization. It's not necessarily the other way around. So not every Freemason that goes through the Blue Lodge degrees necessarily will join York Rite. That's a choice that you make.
Another thing I want to add, I was just going to say that, none of this, so when you ask the question, are Freemasons Knight Templar, none of anything you do is a requirement.
Right.
So, whoops, I almost had a folly. Nothing you do is a requirement. Everything we do in Freemasonry is voluntary. You volunteer to take the degrees. Mm-hmm. So at any point in time, you're like, this ain't for me, or I don't want to go any farther, you stop.
Yep.
We joke about being voluntold for things, but there's no voluntold. You willingly, and even if you were to take an officer's position.
Well, sometimes you're voluntold or pressured.
But here's the thing. Yeah, some people will be like,
Come on, George, could be secretary
yes, you
again.
need to do this. Right?
Oh, come on, one more year. Just one more year.
Yeah, one more. But when you stand up and they say, do you accept? You can say, no.
Correct.
And then they have to reballot again and do it all over again. So nothing in Freemasonry is you have to do it.
Correct.
Including the Knights Templar. Again, there's Jewish brothers. We've talked about this before. There's Jewish brothers. There's Muslim brothers that they could they take the Knights Templar if they wanted to? That's on them and their own religion. And the reason being is because one of the questions is, if you were to take up arms, which is allegorical for everyone out there who's a conspiracy theorist, freaking nut, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, the arms that we would be taking up are ceremonial blunted swords. We're not going to do any damage with them.
Allegorical.
Yeah.
So everything is figurative. So when they tell you, would you take up, if you were to take up arms, would you prefer the Christian religion? Some Muslims or Jewish or Buddhist or whatever can say, no, I don't. Sorry, I can't follow on. And they just stop there. They don't have to take the York Rite.
Right, so would they stop at what, Knights of Malta?
Knight of Malta, which you could take all the way up to there. In the Knights of Malta is just telling the story about the Knights Templar and how they eventually ended up at the Knights of Malta. Mm-hmm. And you could take it all the way up through there. But last question. I'm not going to flip tabs because I already read it. And the last question is, can Freemasons have tattoos?
Ooh. Was that really a question?
Yeah, I'll show you right here. Check it out. Last one. Ready?
So you did them in order, right? It was like the top.
Yeah.
however many.
Are Freemasons allowed to have tattoos? I mean, I don't particularly know for myself, but I mean, I'm speculating.
Nobody's taken my dues card yet.
I mean, I think it also. Well, let's kind of dive into this one because it's pretty easy. But I think it would depend on the tattoos you're getting.
Oh yeah.
If you're putting up some hate stuff on your body and Freemasons catch it,
Yeah, and we're gonna have a problem.
Right.
we're going to have a problem with it. So if you're putting any type of hate symbols, hate speech, anything of that nature on your body, that might throw a red flag. One person did question me about the one on my forearm, and I shut that shit down fast. And the reason being is because
Because of the cross.
the cross. Because this particular cross on my arm is used by multiple things. I chose this cross because this is the cross of the Knights Templar.
Some Maltese cross.
It's no, what the hell is it?
Forget what the
cross
term is
of
for that one.
shit. Cross of Salem. I don't know.
Satan?
Salem, Salem. I think. I'll double check on that.
Salem.
But either way, it's the symbol of the Knights Templar that, you know, when you're in the Grand Commandery, at least of Grand Commandery we have.
Yep.
This is the cross. Like that's what it looks like.
Yep.
And the
Not for
words
nothing,
here.
Isn't the Medal of Honor a similar cross?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that's. I mean, it was hijacked
shape.
by
A lot of-
multiple
yeah.
things. I mean, biker gangs have used it. The Nazis have used it. It's basically a cross that's a symbol of strength, all the way from the Templars, because this was the original. That's in debate. I mean, you can go as far as Sumeria and all that shit, but we're not getting that far. I don't
think
But if
that
you're
we're-
talking about an organization that, you know, it was given by the Pope to the Knights Templar, and this was the cross. So for organizations that came after the Knights Templar that, you know, respected and know what they were a symbol of power.
Right.
So every organization that wants to have a symbol of power, they're naturally going to choose a logo like, or a cross like this. So it's been perverted amongst many other. It's been used for good, bad, just like anything else. But this one particular person basically was like, "Oh my God, is that like that could be a symbol for like white supremacy?" I said, "Yeah, but then when you combine it with the words of the Crusades."
Yeah.
Deus Vult, which means God wills it, that throws your whole argument. And again,
I mean,
this breaks down to interpretation, and it's better to just ask somebody what it means to them.
I'm assuming she
That's
was.
how allegory and symbolism works.
I assume she was alluding to the fact that it looks like the Iron Cross, which the Germans used.
The Iron Cross, yeah.
So it only resembles it. That is not the Iron Cross.
But here's just the thing, all right? Anybody can sit there and poke and say and prod and bait. I hate when people bait. Just ask me. You know, don't. I hate baiters. People are like try to sucker you into saying something stupid.
They've got to be passive aggressive about it. They can't just ask a question. And that's what people used to do.
Yeah, just ask a question like, what's that tattoo all about?
Would the really good baiters be masters?
They could be. Yes. People who work at
best
the wine
one,
factory when they put the cork on top of the wine, they put it in their mouth first to soften it up. They're cork soakers.
Walked
Anyway.
right into that one. I'm like staring at you with rapt attention, and then I'm like, oh God, why did I do that?
Anyway,
All right.
you know, but again, this is what boils down to Freemasonry of allegory and symbolism and all this other stuff, you know. So when we had, I don't know, Spider Monkey Boy over here or whatever, when we were building the
Yeah, spider.
we had
something.
Spider Monkey or whatever his freaking name was. Oh, the first thing when I seen his name Spider was instantly
the guy that was
instantly
commenting.
in my
I
head.
thought you said I'm okay.
Instantly-
Spider. You know, you didn't go to Goodfellas? I went right to Good. I thought you
No,
said
I didn't.
I'm okay.
You know what I went
Spider.
to? I went to Anderson from Beavis and Butthead. I caught them two boys whacking off in the tool shed like a couple of spider monkeys. That's where my head went.
I thought you said I'm okay. Spider.
Yeah.
Okay,
But yeah, I would imagine that there's some tattoos that you couldn't get based
Yeah,
on the
absolutely.
obligations that you take that we won't go into, but there are certain signs and symbols that you're not supposed to like write or
Right.
other things.
Let's go to the comments quick, and then we'll punch in the next one because we still got about a half hour, I think. Joseph Madalena.
Madalena.
Madalena, thank you. Welcome, brother. or welcome friend, whatever you are. Catching my first podcast live since been watching since I was in EA and just recently got a raise where I am. Hey!
Congratulations.
Cheers, brother. Congratulations. Cheers. Jai Everlin. Scientology are renowned for taking legal action. Be careful with that one, lads. What do they want?
We're not tearing the religion apart or defaming
What do they
them.
want?
We just want to see if there's been any precedent for them to be a suitable religion that's compatible with Freemasonry.
What do they
or
wanna
just
do?
talk through the points if they're not. I don't see why they would get angry with us.
What do they want? Do they want the cedar or something off the front? I mean,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
like-
you're gonna take all of our
what are you going to
assets,
sue us for?
all $75 worth of them. All right, have fun with that. Add that to your coffers.
Gonna garnish my wages? I'll send you a bag of peanuts.
You're
If that's
gonna
what you want.
garnish my wages. I think we'll be okay, but yeah, I appreciate that, brother
appreciate
Jai. I
that.
think we'll just have to be circumspect about it, and obviously we'll be respectful. I mean, we're not trying to tear anybody apart here. We're truly trying to answer that question.
Yeah.
And
Right.
just tell us what happened to Shelley Miscavige.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, next one. Let's try this out. Ready, guys? What do you guys want me to do? What do you want me to Google? Can Freemasons?
Yep. Can Freemasons get married? Is that not it?
Oh,
There's some overlap, but
There we
it's
go.
funny because I'm old. I've done 3 of the top 4.
Oh god.
So the top 3 are, well, I'll read you the top 4 so you know which one I'm not.
shit.
Can Freemasons have tattoos? Can Freemasons have beards? Can Freemasons be Catholic? And can Freemasons go to jail?
Okay.
So the answer is
I have
yes
to back it up
all
though,
the above.
because there was another one that was. Oh, I missed it now. Damn it. There was another one that popped up.
Can they drink alcohol? Yes.
Yeah. So, can Freemasons have beards? You can do whatever the hell you want.
I mean, they can.
They may not all look as good as mine, but you can attempt.
God.
to.
Debatable whether they should. but
Gray.
They can.
Look at this. Look at this. This is so nice. I can sit next to Mike. I should pull all the grays out for him.
Then I'd have no beard. It makes me look distinguished.
You know what I do? I just
seasoned.
shave my entire head so I don't.
I'm
have
not
to
afraid of the
freaking-
gray. I've earned the gray. I've earned it. Everyone
right.
has a story.
So let's go to the next one. Can Freemasons go to jail? Yeah. I mean,
I haven't personally.
Freemasons go to jail. I mean, I want to be clear. There's 2 things here, and this one I don't know why this one just made me laugh. I'm sorry, but we're not above the law. We're still American citizens that are punishable by the same laws, and there's no one in. It's not like the prosecutor's going to come bust the door open with a freaking giant G on his chest like Superman and be like, "Hey, we're getting the hell out of here."
Yeah.
Like, that's not going to happen. Like, if you do some dumb shit, yes, you're going to jail.
They
You're
may
going to
also
jail.
be asking,
And then,
though,
oh, go ahead, Ken.
you know, can Freemasons go to jail? As in, are we still Freemasons? Are we still part of the craft? Are they going to kick us out if we go to jail?
I think it depends on the severity of your crime. I mean, if you go to jail because you have a freaking glove box full of unpaid parking tickets, probably not. Masons might even be like, "Hey, man, you're hurting for money. You need some help."
Right.
Like, the lodge may help you out. If you're, but I mean, if you're
Commit a
like,
felony. Yeah.
if you're like pulling,
Usually a felony. You're out.
or you're Ike Turner and your old lady at home, like,
Yeah.
that probably will get you thrown out of the craft.
Big wheel. Keep on.
Anything that's like, moral turpitude or, anything that's murder or any of that kind of stuff, usually a felony is going to get you booted out.
Yeah.
And at the very least, there's going to be a Masonic trial because we don't,
I mean, you want to go even further. I mean, you could even go some misdemeanors. Like, you get caught with drugs.
Yeah.
Depending on what you got.
Right.
Your lodge
Yeah.
may hold a trial and say, it's
Conduct
unmasonic.
unbecoming.
Yep.
Sometimes, I
unbecoming.
mean, I know of certain circumstances where it wasn't even a trial. It was literally like that. They yanked the freaking dues card, and that was it.
Yep.
We don't need to get into specifics about that one. So, yeah, you can be thrown out, and depending on your severity, you.
Yep.
Can Freemasons leave?
Like, can we become See ya. There's a process called the demit process where you can just fill out some paperwork. You submit it to the lodge. Technically, it's up to a lodge vote. However, I've never seen a lodge not respect the wishes of a brother to demit.
I mean, you also can't be like 3 years in the hole of dues and be like, yeah, I want to demit now. Like, no, you got to pay up, otherwise they won't grant the demit. And then,
Right. You should be in good standing before you demit.
But yeah, there's nothing stopping you. And you know what, honest to God, even in that situation, like where the dude is like 3 years in the rears, and he just doesn't show up anymore and doesn't answer phone calls, like, we're not going to hunt you down and like drag you back to the lodge. Like, it is what it is.
No,
it
it's
sucks.
not like
write it off.
auto.
Here's what'll happen: you'll get dropped NPD, which is non-payment of dues. And honest to God, like, even if you like came back like 5 years later and was like, yeah, I want to come back, you still owe that money to the lodge because you were part of it. And I mean, realistically, if you're going to be that much of a douche canoe and just not pay your dues for 3 years and then just disappear, the lodge might not want you back because it's kind of, that's not what Masons do. Like, we pay our debts. We're like Lannisters, and
Unless you were in, like,
Drink and we know things.
if you fell on hard financial times, obviously, there are extenuating circumstances.
Of course.
We're going to help brothers out if they can't pay their dues. Obviously, that's part of our obligations to one another.
but usually Masons will do the right thing and be like, hey man, I'm hurting for cash.
Yep.
And they'll come to the lodge, and you don't have to tell the entire lodge. You don't got to make this big public spectacle. You go up to the master or the secretary and be like, hey, listen, I'm falling on hard times, can't pay it. And most times, master or secretary will just be like, because I don't know how it is in your lodges, but our lodge has a little bit of a quote-unquote slush fund, if you will, where it's like $100 is allocated to the secretary and wardens, and I don't know what the amount is, but a certain amount of money is allocated, or even our almoner, right? We got the almoner, too. Which I don't know, are you?
I am your almoner and your associate grand almoner.
Right. So, I mean, even if they come to the almoner, which is kind of like what the new standard is, right? You go to the almoner if you're having some issues, and then he passes it to
the worshipful master,
Right.
who passes it to the associate grand almoner if need be. So
Correct.
we have
So-
a separate fund that's
It's like a me sandwich.
yeah, it's a Joe sandwich. Those are the best kind.
Stupid.
It's like Fluffernutter, only better.
Can Freemasons drink alcohol?
Cheers.
Dos Svedanya.
Not to excess. Not to excess.
Not to
It's
excess.
actually part of some of the teachings of Freemasonry that
To subdue your passion.
we're not supposed to go crazy with alcohol. But yeah, we'll have a beer every once in a
But
while.
that's also why you have a junior warden who's big as shit, too. Because if the junior warden is responsible for refreshment, and if you're downstairs after lodge getting pie-eyed, it's actually the junior warden's job to be like, hey, knock it off.
There are checks and balances in place.
Yes.
Can Freemasons date? Hey!
If I couldn't, I wouldn't be a Mason. No, that's not true. I'm married, actually.
You busy, lady?
I want to be clear.
You're looking good today, by the way.
Maybe we can.
I
go
like your
grab
tattoos.
Maybe you and I can go grab a cup of coffee.
Oh, God. Jesus Christ. I knew that was coming. Oh, that's
With a latte, Barry White.
I gotta, Jesus. Remix to ignition.
Oh, usually I don't do this, but why don't you go ahead and break them off a little preview of the remix? I'm not trying to be rude, baby.
I want to be clear.
Oh, we're gonna get shut down. We're gonna get shut
I want to be clear. Freemasonry is not to impede on your financial life, your social life, your family life, your life in general. Right. This is a benefit to it. So you're not going to be like on a date and, a Mason's just going to come out of like the corner like it's like Men in Black wearing a tuxedo and be like, what are you doing, brother?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
That's not going to happen. Like,
Why don't you come bounce with me? Just bounce with me. Just bounce.
So you want to roll dirty on Tinder, brothers? You feel free.
Yeah.
Do your thing. It's not like there's no vow of celibacy or anything like that.
I mean, as long as you're not doing anything on like Epstein's Island or anything, I'm pretty sure you're going to be fine.
Yeah, keep it within like the letter of the law.
Yes, exactly. Can Freemasons be cremated? Actually, that's one of the ways I want to go. And
That's how I'm going.
I take the dirt nap. But I want it to be Viking, though. Like, I want 2 eyes.
Oh,
on
like a funeral pyre.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to be put out on the boat. I don't know, rubber raft, whatever you want to do. Float me in the middle of Naugatuck.
Ugh.
Can I blast Jimi Hendrix? Let me stand next to your fire when that's going.
That freaking entire river will catch on fire if we do that. You want to do that?
So I want to go. There's a couple ways I want to go. I think I've talked about the ways I want to go, right?
I think so.
I think I've talked about the ways I want to go.
I've been pretty clear on mine. I'm going to be buried in a bio urn.
What the hell's a bio urn?
Take your ashes and like mix it in with mulch, and you become the bulb of a tree that they plant. And then you're reborn as a tree.
I'm going to take
That's
one.
cool.
I'm going to take
and then
one.
dogs pee on you.
I'm going to take one out of Dane Cook's. Okay.
boy.
I hope you come back as a tree and a big sweaty lumberjack comes through the woods and just chops you down and then prints the Bible on. Turns you into paper and turns you into the Bible.
Then my legacy
worse
shall
ways to
still live on.
True.
Take that, Karen.
Yes.
I come back as a Bible, as a tree that gets turned into a Bible. That'll really grind your gears.
Or toilet
Exactly.
paper.
Yeah, or TP. The gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
Toilet paper at a Mexican
I really
restaurant.
don't
And
care.
somebody will do it backwards. It
Or
won't
a
be
Thai
over the
food
top.
restaurant. There you go. An all Indian cuisine. Cremated is actually one of the ways I want to go. I know there's Roman Catholics that are flipping out right now because they don't believe in that. But
Yeah, whatever. I mean, you can go any way you want. Freemasonry doesn't have any opinion whatsoever.
Any way you want it.
Yeah,
the way you
how
want.
go out.
Realistically, the way that I go, I'm probably going to end up in a hefty bag in the backyard at some point. So,
Probably. You're going to end up in a wood
although I
chipper.
always thought it would be
Be a
cool.
wood chipper.
I always thought it would be cool to like cut like a hole out of the deck and then be buried under the deck and then put plexiglass on the top so people can like kind of like the USS Arizona.
So we could give you Cleveland.
Oh, that's weird, man.
I'll go the way of Lenin.
Then we can give you like
Just pickle me and
then we can
freaking.
give you a Cleveland steamer.
Maybe I'll go like the way of Lenin. We'll just taxidermy my ass and put me in a friggin'.
Daniel Valdez says, "Tree into Bible. The cycle is complete, Karen." Well said.
Yeah, if I go funeral pyre, I'm going to be dressed as Darth Vader when they do it.
Yeah, I mean that's cool. Or Conan the Barbarian.
And they'll play
I would go.
second.
I think I would go as Ragnar Lothbrok. Not
Or
gonna lie.
Ragnar.
Oh no, he didn't get a funeral pyre. He actually got thrown into a pit of snakes, and then no, I don't know what the hell happened.
Why does it always have to be snakes?
Wasn't it Conan's girlfriend there that got burned in the
I
old
believe so, yeah.
the old barbarian barbecue there? The
Yes.
funeral pyre? I can't remember.
Fairly certain.
It's been a while since I've seen that movie.
And then came Red Sonja.
Yeah. Yeah, Tulsa Dune, man.
Yeah,
All right, what do we want to try one more?
It was the blonde chick that got shot with the when they made the snake into an
Yeah,
arrow
that's
and
right.
shot
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Tulsa Dune.
James Earl
shot him.
Jones.
Yep. That is power.
All right, let's go back to the comments real quick.
Love that.
Antoine Worrell, greetings, brothers from Tallahassee. H.E. Daniels Lodge number 532 PHA.
Hey, welcome, Antoine.
Welcome,
Welcome,
brother.
brother.
There was a brother in our lodge who asked for assistance for dues and bills when COVID hit. The lodge helped him out. That's what we do.
Yep.
And then, Daniel Valdez, Tree into a Bible.
Peter Daigle just joined us.
Hey,
Yeah,
Pete,
you
how
gave
you
us a
doing?
peace
What's
sign.
going
What's
on?
up, brother?
Chuck and Deuces.
So, all right, we want to do one more?
Let's do one more.
One more.
Uno más.
Come on, guys, help me out here. I've had to come up the last two.
So we've done
I was
what?
hoping, like-
Freemasons are, Freemasons
Will-
And
have.
can Freemasons.
Will Freemasons
Yes.
maybe take over the world, end
I
the
can
world,
spell
kill
it.
us all?
Will Freemasons... Oh, see, this comes up with some names.
Like Will isn't
Will
proper
The
name.
only one that really
Oh,
pops up
right.
is, will Freemasonry survive?
Oh, that's a tough one, man.
I mean...
I say
was
yes,
it
but
Gloria
that's a
Gaynor?
complicated one.
I will survive.
And we're muted.
I know I'm still alive. I've got all my life to live, and I've got all my love to give.
All right, give me a different one, because that comes up a name. So we did can Freemasons. I was hoping something like popped up like can Masons fly.
Did you do Freemasons are?
I did Freemasons. Oh, hold on.
Because I know we did Freemasons have and will
Yeah.
Freemason or Freemasons
Freemasons are
boring.
boring.
Wow.
Screw you. We're big.
Is
in
that a
packing.
statement or a question?
Freemasons, are you a traveling man?
We're big in the Philippines.
Yeah, the Philippines love us.
And apparently Serbia too. Shout out Serbian bro.
Yeah. In Kenya, we were good. In
So the only two we have on here is Freemasons, are you a traveling man? That is so. Oh, we could actually talk about this.
Okay.
The different ways that Masons communicate
Do we want to talk about it?
outside of public
in a circumspect fashion.
in a circumspect fashion. So, like different things that are said.
I don't know if my religion does that.
What?
Never mind.
I'm lost.
Circumspect.
Oh, you were. Oh,
God, he's making it. Yeah. Okay.
Don't make us think, Joe.
I get it.
I'll try not to.
So this is one of the phrases that actually Freemasons say to one another. They ask if they're a traveling man. So like if you see a brother with a, I don't know, Masonic tattoo, Masonic ring, Masonic lapel pin, and the Mason is going to recognize another brother in the context of we're not allowed to give grips and words and stuff like that because, I mean it's kind of weird.
public.
It's kind of weird to dig into your wallet and pull out your dues card and stick it in somebody else's face. It's kind of just Awkward. So one of the things they do is, like, the Mason will walk up to another suspect Mason, because, again, we also have to guard against calamities, too, right?
We have to mutually know that each one of us is, in fact, a recognized Mason.
Correcto.
Complicated.
So one of the things that will be asked are, hey, are you a traveling man? And a Mason should instantly pick up on what he's talking about. Another one is, I've heard people say is, do you look? I see you look to the east.
Yep.
I've heard that one.
Or are you traveling in an easterly direction, something like that.
Or somebody will look at you and go, hey, Hiram.
Yep.
That's another one that I've heard.
Yep.
I mean, in our circle of friends, it's usually, hey, fuckface! Like,
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is a brother that you don't know. Personally,
I know. I
And
have
you're
just
in
been
public.
Right.
You're probably
So,
not
hey-
going to lead with that one.
Yeah. Hey, brother is usually one, and then you still
Yeah.
have to kind of, there's a process that we kind of go through to see if we are, in fact, both recognized Masons. But
Let me also
get
add,
their attention first.
in that respect, don't be the brother that sees another brother with a Mason sticker on the back of his car, and now you're in, like, Gran Torino mode to catch
Yeah.
up to this guy to, like, hey,
Yeah.
how you doing? Like,
Sounds like you're speaking from experience.
I had a particular brother who was hardcore riding my ass. I'll let you guys fill in the blanks of this. Hardcore riding my ass in his black Dodge RT Charger.
Oh, I know that brother. Yeah. He's done that to me, too.
And then I was like, doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. The phone goes off. But again, I'm sitting there and I'm driving and I'm like, I'm going to brake check this dude through his goddamn windshield if he doesn't get off my butt.
Yeah, except it's a brother.
And then I realized once I seen the number and the name, I'm like, oh, it's him. All right.
Yeah.
No, but I'm picking on Jack Burrell. Shout out to Jack over at Shepherd Salem. But I'm picking on him. But, I mean, you get excited when you see another brother, like when you're driving down the road. It's like, oh, he's got a Mason sticker. Let me catch up and try to, like, and it's like,
Usually I just give them 3 blasts on the horn. Beep, 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 and, like, wave really quick so that they know I'm not getting pissed off at them because they're driving too slow. Like, you just put your hand up.
You also have a Masonic sticker on or a Masonic
Yeah.
emblem on the back of your car.
eventually he'll
as
know,
big as
yeah.
this goddamn cap.
It's a little bit bigger than that.
You can barely see it.
It's like 4 inches, something
Right.
like that. It doesn't have to be ostentatious. I don't want like a giant square encompasses decal on my back window, but
He said it was like 4 inches.
it's bigger than that. It is. Hey, George. What
Who are you
is-
trying to convince? Us or them?
Yeah, shut
Or
up.
yourself?
George, what's the best thing in life?
Oh, God. I have no idea what.
That's Peter Daigle.
Yeah, it's actually to crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and to hear the lamentations of their women. It's from Conan the Barbarian, I believe.
Oh, is it?
If I recall,
so,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
Thank you, brother Peter. It's like I think it's when he's sitting in the desert with the little monk guy.
Casey Joseph, hi.
He's
That's
like,
after he punches the camel
what
or
is the
before he punches
I
the
think
camel?
I think it's after he punches the camel. He's like, what is the greatest thing in life? And I don't know. I think he was trying to like lead him to some kind of lesson, but he says, "Is to crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and to hear the lamentation of their women."
Joseph Madalena. He says, right? Say that again. I keep.
Madalena.
I suck at names. I'm sorry. They should develop a sign you can give to another brother you see driving on the highway. If it's other members of my lodge, it's usually the bird. But
Yeah. I mean, I've always struggled with that too, and I totally see his point. Like, once you kind of give the 3 horn blasts, that's one way you can communicate, and not everybody's going to immediately think, hey, that's another brother. But, like, what hand signal can you give that you can actually give as a Mason in public? I just do the regular sign of a Mason, like when we're voting. I just put my right hand up like this for a second so that it's clear I'm not giving him the finger.
Right.
And then
But why the weird arm, though? Why the weird hand?
like this?
Yeah,
That's how we vote, right? It's the usual sign of a Mason. It's like you're voting in lodge.
I wouldn't have think of that. If you ever drove by me and put your arm up, I thought you were like, what is he, like, think he's on a bike and he's taking a right turn? Like, what the hell are you freaking doing? Like, that's
I
just
mean,
me,
you got
though.
something better? Because Joe and I, or Joseph,
I'm fine with
Madalena and I are both confused.
all
Like,
right,
none of
well.
us know what to do. So tell us. I mean, let's figure it out.
Yeah, I'd
Come up with a special sign.
come up with something. We can do this.
A Boy
the-
Scout sign, like the 3 fingers or something. I don't know.
There are some brothers that are discreet about being Masons. Yeah, absolutely. There are some brothers that are very
To
discreet
make our
about
own
it.
little like gang sign like this. Like,
Yeah, like the square and compasses. Try to do that.
Oh, God. You realize you're going to be a meme tomorrow from Karen, right?
I don't care.
Whatever, Karen.
Gonna drink bullets.
Soulless gingers flashing Masonic gang signs.
Yeah, I'll be come back as a tree that'll be turned into a Bible that will be given to your granddaughter on her wedding day.
We'll
Joke
shade
is
your
on you.
grandchildren when they get married.
Joke is on you.
See, and they always say I'm the angry dwarf.
I'm not angry.
You're subtly angry.
Point Zanino.
I just believe in karma, Karen.
That's right.
Oh, God. Anyway, I think that's all we got. I don't really have any mothers are because I did Freemasons are. I'm just gonna go with straight Freemasons, and then it's the.
What about Freemasonry is? Tried Freemasonry is.
I did that.
Oh.
Yeah, I think we did do that
that-
one. Hey, if any brothers out there...
Oh, here we
better
go.
software,
Now, see,
let's
this makes me happy. The very first one that pops up with Freemasonry is, it comes up as Freemasonry is a beautiful system of morality.
Very true.
Yeah,
Very, very true. And the
came
very
from a
next one
Mason.
is Freemasonry is a system of morality.
Yeah.
Perfect. I think it's a good thing.
That came from Masons.
Ooh, number 4 is an interesting topic.
Freemasonry is a religion.
No, the one below that.
Oh, Freemasonry is dying.
Interesting topic.
What isn't though anymore? Like, and we're not dying. Like, we're still
Me,
here.
I have no soul.
Yeah, I don't think the craft is dying.
Craft isn't dying. Is it shrinking? Sure.
Changing, consolidating,
Changing,
perhaps,
consolidating.
but
It's a
yeah,
natural contraction
yeah.
of things.
I think we're.
It's like when people
we're
say,
fine.
"Oh, the mafia is dead." No, it's not.
No, you can't hear it.
They're just not announcing themselves anymore,
Right.
Karen.
Everything has an ebb and flow. Karen.
I'm sorry. She set herself up for that one. I mean, whatever.
I mean, her name is
does.
Karen. It's like when you meet somebody named, like, I don't know.
What's that? Hold on,
Biff.
hold on. We got one right here.
Probably acts a certain
Freemasonry, Isle of Man. Oh, I gotta look into this one now.
Isle as in, like, island, or Isle as in, like,
IS.
Isles
Blue Light
in-
special.
Ooh,
at
and it's
Walmart.
actually a Freemason.
That's the Isle of Man is actually where they do a lot of races like motocross and
Provincial
car
Grand
racing.
Lodge of the Isle of Man.
yeah, they
wanna
have some awesome races
go.
on that island.
Really?
Yeah, they really do. It's kind of like the English countryside. They have hedgerows and stuff like that, and the roads are very narrow, and they shut down like most of the island, and they just run these super narrow, curvy roads.
Look at
it's
that friggin'
ridiculous.
apron. Holy shnikes.
That's a big apron.
I mean,
Good God.
we should take a trip out there, visit the lodge, the Provincial Grand Lodge,
United
and
Grand Lodge of
watch a
England.
race.
Interesting. Look, look at this. Look at this. Look at these
Castle. I
pictures.
saw a castle.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
How the hell do I can't go to the next one? Damn it. There's a I don't know, Hogwarts train or something
Yeah,
there.
the
Check, if you guys
countryside
want to look
is
at this, it's
beautiful.
freemasons.im.
Yep.
Right? That's the only thing I see.
Isle of Man.
Interesting.
Freemasons.
That's really
Isle of
cool.
Man. So we learned something from Google today.
Yes, we
Yeah.
did.
Yeah, I didn't know there was a Provincial Grand Lodge there.
What do you say, brothers? We good? Do we have anything else we want to add? If you're white, what is this? All right, hold on. We got some questions. We don't want to get shot trying to say hi to them.
Yeah, I mean, this is something we need to figure out. We don't want to, like,
blowing
make
up
people
here,
think it's a road rage thing. We just want to say hi.
Right. Daniel Valdez, if your wife is traveling and needs assistance in another city, how she be identified as a Mason's wife? Well, there's a couple things.
Depends,
actually-
again, on your jurisdiction, I think, too. Because there are rules in certain jurisdictions.
True, but there are also lapel pins. For instance, one of them is the Masonic slipper.
Yes, there are Mason's ladies pins.
Mason's ladies pins, which is a heart with in I think the A of Mason's lady is a square and compass.
I believe so, yeah.
Yep.
So there are different ways to do that.
There are T-shirts out there that say Mason's Lady and stuff
Right.
like that. Like my sweetheart is a Mason or something like that.
So I want to be clear about this though, and I'm glad kind of Dan brought this up, and then we'll shut it down after this. But be very, very careful about that, and I'll tell you why. Because I think it's cool when Masons identify each other, but Masons also catch a lot of shit from crazies too.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And the last thing you want to do is put.
If Karen sees you, like,
Yeah.
the grocery
Yeah, I know.
store.
Right. You don't want to catch. So I mean, that's your own personal decision. if you want to give that to your wife, whatever. But Masons catch a lot of shit, and I've had people stop me and be like, "Oh, you're a Mason? You guys are like NWO, right? You're the one making the gas prices go up, right?" No, I'm
Never had that happen. On my wife's car.
No, I'm being facetious, but I'm saying like there has been people. I mean, we had that little bastard down in freaking Jimmy start mouthing off to me one day, and I wanted to throw him out the freaking window.
When my wife bought
thanks to my lodge brothers that came to my fence, like, George, just calm down.
They made you subdue your passions.
They made me. They did a good job, though.
So
and then, of course, I had my hardcore. Sorry, Ken. And then I had a couple hardcore ones. Like, dude, I'll be down in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Anyway, Ken, go ahead. Sorry.
So on my wife's last car and on her current vehicle, I have a square and compasses emblem. And the reason for that is A, sometimes I drive that car. And B, if she's ever out there in public and has a flat tire on the side of the road with the kids in the car, I would like to think that a brother would help out, a brother's wife.
Or you get a son of a bitch like Jack Burrill decides to tailgate her the entire ride back to the grocery store.
There's that too. And if there's some psycho out there that's like, oh, Masons are evil, they might key your car up or something like that. But
the only time that Jack Burrill doesn't tailgate another Mason's car or his wife's car to get his attention is if it says MWGM on the front tail, and then he's banging a hard right to get away off the street.
Or he can't keep up because it's a WRX.
That too. Poor Jack. Poor Jack.
Love you, brother.
Anyway, what do we say, brothers? We ready?
I think we're good.
Yeah.
I think next one we'll do the Scientology. We also want to get Right Worshipful Chip Schofield up here.
Yes.
We need our first guest in a while, in-house. We need to bring his ass up here. So we got Right Worshipful Chip Schofield up here, and we'll get him up here. We're going to get a hold of Scott Walther. Mm-hmm. And I'm hoping that Rafferty is actually doing his job. And
of course he is. How dare you?
I told him to get a hold of Apathy.
He did get the pins out.
Trying to get Apathy here. Oh, yeah, by the way, I want to just say, if you are new, because we have a lot of new Discord people, and Joe can put a shameless plug in before we leave. If you're new in Discord, send your address to Jim Rafferty, DM him in the Discord, and he will get you your pin if you haven't got it yet.
Yes, and you can do that by joining Patreon for as little as $5 a month. You'll get exclusive access to all Patreon content. You'll also get access to our Discord channel, and you will get the said gold tone commemorative Freemason podcast pin.
Correcto.
All for as little as $5 a month.
Also, YouTube, like, subscribe, hit the little bell too.
Smash it.
Yeah.
Hit the little bell too, so you know
We'll
when we
read
go
your
live.
name.
Hey, Ken, over there with your techie, are you able to zoom in on something? Or is it really distort and screw up the freaking...
No, I mean, it's not
hoping you
going
can-
to be an optical zoom. So the more I zoom in, the more it'll distort.
Maybe you could
so.
just really quick zoom in on the little... where is the Patreon link? Patreon link.
I believe our Patreon link is on the Freemasons Facebook page. Let me just double check that.
Yep. Also, so I just want Ken to zoom in, if you can, on the little image below me, the little picture below me.
Photo.
That photo. And I just want to say we've come a long freaking way. Elliot Tuck, morning.
It's going to be
morning. Bitch, I'm ready for bed.
Jesus, I'm going to have to drag way up here and then go like...
Yeah, it's all right. If you look at that...
it's just an awkward way to pan, that's all. But there you go. There you go. You can kind of see it.
You kind of see it, but we put this picture up in the front of the thing because, brothers, we came a long way from having a... Basically, I mean, it's distorted, but that's fine. It was basically a round card table, a round table, which is just a regular sitting coffee table.
Yep.
And a bunch of just wires and one mic in the middle of the table and one black card table, if you will. And we've come a long way. No background, no real camera. So
that's when Gideon came to visit us.
Yes, it was. And I just want to say, I want to thank you, brothers, for doing this with me for 3 years and being part of this shit show we call the podcast.
And we still have our dues card.
Yeah. I mean, it's been a lot of fun.
But on the Patreon question, there's not a link on our podcast page. However, you could just go to patreon.com. That's patron with an E thrown in there, patreon.com, and look up the Freemasons podcast. Or you can download the app on your Android device or iPhone. And once you have that app download it. You can search for the Freemasons podcast.
Where'd we go, Ken?
I just kind of.
Oh, there you are.
Yeah, I'm not gonna like go through the whole damn thing again. I can't just like reset at the back.
That's
the way
fine.
it was. So we'll just.
We're shutting down anyway.
All right.
All right. For the Freemasons podcast, I'm Right Worship Brother George Mudry, signing off.
Worshipful Brother Joe signing off.
In pixelated, worshipful brother Ken, signing off.
Have
I'm
a good night.
pixelated. See,
Good night, everyone. Thanks for tuning in.
I like
Thanks
how he
for
wears a
joining
white
us.
shirt to make himself look tan. I like that.
I don't have to work at it, man. I've been outside a lot lately.
I know.
Have a good night, everyone.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, brothers and friends.